Okay, today we are going to go through the neural exam. For my exam, I'm going to start with my cranial nerves. So for cranial nerve number 1, that is the olfactory nerve, and that will test the patient's ability to smell. So for the exam, I would have the patient close their eyes, and I can use a familiar scent, such as coffee, vanilla, cinnamon, something like that, and make sure that they're able to identify that smell. Cranial nerve number 2 is the optic nerve, and that will be testing our visual acuity. For the exam, I would have the patient do a Snellen vision chart. That will check to see if they have 20/20 vision, and I can use a Jaeger card and check color discrimination. And field of vision and confrontation. Cranial nerve 3, 4, and 6 are ocular motor, trochlear, and abducens. Those also test the function of our eye muscles. I would do the cover test, lazy eye test. I'm going to go ahead and do the 6 cardinal signs of gaze. Follow my finger with just your eyes. Follow my finger in. Good. Okay, he was able to move his eyes to all 6 sides, and his eyes converged when I brought my finger in. I did not note any nystagmus. During my cranial nerve exam, I will also probably do my ophthalmoscope exam as well. Again, checking for the red reflex, all of those. I'm not going to go through it since I already went through it in one of my other videos. I will go to cranial nerve number 5. That is the trigeminal nerve, and that will assess our temporal and masseter muscle. So I will have my patient open the jaw, move it around side to side, close, clench. Good. All right. He was able to follow commands. Did you have any pain or tenderness when I did that?
No.
Okay. That would be assessing for TMJ. During the trigeminal nerve, I will also assess touch. So I'm going to take a cotton Q-tip. I'll have you close your eyes. Where am I touching?
My forehead.
What about now?
My cheek.
Very good. So I'm just testing soft touch to the forehead and cheeks. So I did through 6. So cranial nerve number 7 is the facial nerve. I will have my patient smile, puff out their cheeks, raise their eyebrows. Good. I didn't see any asymmetry with that. With facial nerve, we also test, we can test taste, which is the anterior portion of the tongue. Cranial nerve number 8 is the acoustic nerve, so that will be for hearing, and that is I can do the whispered test. Tell me what you hear.
Apple.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Okay. And I will also do the Rhine and the Weber test with my tuning fork here. So Weber will test for equilateralization, and the Rin test will test for air and bone conduction. So I'm going to do the tuning fork here. Tell me if you hear it equally in both ears.
Yes.
Okay. And then I will check one side. You could do both sides in the exam. Tell me when you no longer hear it.
No.
You can still hear it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So his air conduction is greater than his bone conduction. So that would be normal. Cranial nerve number 9 is the glossopharyngeal. So I will have the patient stick out their tongue and say ah. Good, using my light here, pen light. So that I'm going to assess to make sure that the uvula is midline and not deviated to one side. Cranial nerve number 10 is the vagus nerve, so I can use my tongue depressor and I will initiate the gag reflex. Cranial nerve number 11 is the accessory or spinal accessory nerve. That would be checking strength against resistance. Raise your shoulders. Very good. Turn your head against my resistance. Very good. Any pain or tenderness with that?
Nope.
Okay. And his strength was normal on both sides, 5 out of 5, and he was able to move his head back and forth. And the last cranial nerve number 12 is your hypoglossal. That is the ability to stick out your tongue midline without it deviating to one side. So stick out your tongue. There you go. Okay. All right. So we made it through the cranial nerves. Let's see. Okay. So we are gonna test sensory function. So I'm gonna do soft light touch with my Q-tip here. So I'll have you close your eyes. Tell me if it's soft, dull, or sharp.
Soft. Soft. Dull. Sharp. Sharp. Soft. Sharp. Soft. Soft. Sharp.
Okay. So he was able to distinguish soft and sharp on all surfaces. I could also test temperature. I could use an ice pack or a warm pack to assess if he was able to discriminate that as well. Okay, so back to my tuning fork. I will hit it to get it to vibrate, and I will hold it over bony prominences just to make sure that he's feeling the vibration.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep. 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 Yep.
All right. So he was able to feel the vibration on each of my tests. Okay, I could also test for peripheral neuropathy. I would use my monofilament. I would assess 6 spots on each foot, making sure to press until it begins to bend and assess if the patient was able to feel that. I can also use my monofilament around his body, testing for sharp feeling. Okay, so I'll have you close your eyes. Take your hand. Okay, tell me if this is going up or down.
Up. Down. Up.
And I'm gonna come down and do his toes.
Up. Down.
Okay, so that's checking position sense. He was able to tell me if his toes or fingers were moving up or down. And I will do 2-point discrimination. I'll have you close your eyes again. All right, can you tell me if this is 1 point or 2?
2. 2. 2. 1. 1.
All right, very good. He was able to tell me whether I was pointing with 2 or 1. Next, I'll do graphasia, which is the ability to recognize a letter or number written on the hand. I'll have you close your eyes again.
A.
Very good. Okay, and then I'm going to have him identify an object that I put in his hand. Close your eyes.
Paperclip.
Good.
Pen.
Very good. Okay, he is able to identify all objects. I will do the superficial reflexes, which is the abdominal reflex. So I will have my patient lay and I can lightly stroke towards the umbilicus, checking for the muscles to flex. The cremastic reflex, I would stroke the inner thigh of the male patient. Lightly stroke the inner thigh, looking for the rise in the scrotum. And the plantar reflex, I would stroke the bottom of the foot in like an upward curve, checking for the Babinski sign. Let's see. After that, I will do my deep tendon reflexes. So for those, we have the biceps and the brachialis. Just rest your arm. Very good. Okay. Good. So all of those on the arm were good. I will do the patellar. Again, it would be helpful if the patient was swinging their legs off the side of the bed. Okay. And then for the Achilles, I would have my patient lay supine on their front, and I would strike the Achilles tendon and watch for the flex. Okay. So I've done those, and I will also check for ankle clonus in the foot. For the special testing, I'm going to have you stand up. I'm going to have you bend your knees all the way down, assessing your knee strength. And let's see, I will have you walk heel to toe, please. Good. And walk on your toes. Good. And then walk on your heels, please. All right. And then stand still, putting your hands like this. Close your eyes. Good. I'm not seeing any pronator drift. That would be when his arms rotate, or I would have him in supine position, watching to see if his hands pronate. And then I'll do the Romberg test. So close your eyes, hands to your side for 20 to 30 seconds. And I would note if he had any swaying from side to side or inability to stand without a loss of balance. And then I will check for nuchal rigidity with the Babinski and the Koenig sign. So I would have you lay flat, supine, please. And tilt your neck in. Good. And that would show me if there was a reflex with the hips and the knees that would bend up if he was having nuchal rigidity. Okay, I think I got everything. Thank you.